welcome to Mars TV. Thank you for being here with us today. I'm very grateful for your time. You're Maria Antonietta Perino. You're an Italian aerospace engineer, director, Space Economy Exploration International Network at Thales Alenia Space in Turin, Italy, and the head of the Advanced Exploration Program. You're involved in several different activities promoting young professionals in the space industry, the author of several publications and papers, awarded Women of Excellence in 2010, and the Stella al Merito del Lavoro, which is translated to the excellence and long service of work by the Italian Republic President. So.
Yes.
A lot of achievements. I can't even begin to describe how honored I am. So thank you for being here.
Thank you, Tara, for this amazing introduction. You managed to put together many little dots of my long path in this beautiful, how can I say, is an environment, is not a job, that is the exploration. I was lucky enough, in fact, when I was much younger, to join Thales Alenia Space, that is my family. It's a wonderful company where people can really enjoy working together, bringing all the different skills that are required to make a space mission, not just a dream, but a reality. And so I was lucky enough, for almost 40 years ago, I've been working for 40 years in this company, to be part of this opportunity, to be part of this adventure. As you said, I'm an engineer. I'm a nuclear engineer, in fact. And then I got a degree at MIT in Boston, where I had the possibility to attend the International Space University. That, by the way, I advise all the young people listening to our conversation to think about that, because it's an amazing way to learn how to look at the problem for different perspectives. You know, normally each of us is focused on his own background, but a space mission is much more than just an engineering adventure. It needs a lot of collaboration. It needs a lot of political reflections, business reflections. So, and especially if you have people involved in the mission, you need architect, you need medical doctor, you need psychologist. And so the International Space University offers, in fact, a proper program where you can study all these aspects. So coming back to what I did, I joined the company decades ago, and I started to work in exploration since the very beginning, when exploration was just a matter of very few people. Now exploration is the core business of the space economy. That is no longer a matter of telecommunication satellites, for example. We are really going back to the moon and onward to Mars and much further. And to do that, you need to carefully developing many different technologies and capabilities. Again, it's not only engineering. And so I started with the first programs like ExoMars, Mars Sample Return, and then some years ago, the focus of all the major space agencies, not only space agencies, because there are new players in the space sector. space agencies, yes, but also private companies, even individuals that commit themselves to this business, in fact, to this activity. And so the major space agencies, few years ago, they decided to develop a common roadmap, a sort of open architecture, where each of these players can find its place, a possible contribution according to what available in the country or in the company. I think that this is beautiful. It's like to put together a puzzle. Each of us can contribute with a little piece, and making sure that the resulting picture is coherent for sure. And so this roadmap is based on the validation of the technologies in low Earth orbit as the first step, moving then in moon vicinity and even on the moon, getting ready for Mars. And this is the little contribution that I try to share with you today and with other people.
What's remarkable about your work, and I watched your lectures and I heard you speak, is that even though you're approaching this from the space industry, from the space perspective and the technology, and from a nuclear and engineering background, it was, and you said it now, it was very clear that in order to do all of this, you need to orchestrate the political, the diplomatic, the business.
For sure.
And I like your analogy of it being like a puzzle. And yes, everyone is playing a small part, but it looks to me that in your work, you have the board of the puzzle and you're also putting all of the people and the capabilities together. So how does your day work? How do you do this a day? Do you start with the problems first? Do you start with the easy things first and then get to the problems? So how do your day at Thalia Selena Space work?
Thalia Selena Space. It varies. One important characteristic that people shall develop in this society that is very competitive, very hectic. Everybody's rushing anywhere, wherever, in any possible place, doing many things in parallel. I think that is very important. First of all, you need to get a solid preparation. You need to know what you're talking about. Otherwise, you can pretend that you may contribute, but then the whole story would collapse. So, having said that, you prepare yourself. Then you need to develop flexibility. So I cannot tell you the recipe is because it varies also according to the different group of people you're working with. So you need to adapt. First of all, you need to listen to the others. That is my way. That is not the only possible way. But if you want to you can work by yourself. You can be a super specialist in a given field. Fine, and we need these people. But if you want to work at a huge program, huge project, for sure you need collaboration. And if you want to set a solid, effective working group, you need to allow anybody to have its own contribution. Then again, set the game rules so that everybody is clear which are the expectations, and then you shouldn't miss anybody contribution. So listen to the other people point of view. I believe that this is my way of managing projects.
in an environment for space exploration, and to follow up on what you're saying, there are many technologies that
Mhm.
have to be right in order to make the mission develop. And as you said, no one knows everything about everyone. That's why you need to listen to others who would know about this particular
Mhm.
technology. How do you coordinate all of this in order to achieve the goal? It's very complicated, and I can't
Yeah,
imagine how many stakeholders and pieces that need to move in order to make this a possibility.
yeah. Well, I don't want to bother people by explaining the way we organize the activity at project level, but normally we start with the interface with the client. You need to understand what is the need. You need to understand and translate the need into requirements. So it's quite
Mm,
different to develop a project for a satellite versus a project for a lander that has to land on the moon versus a pressurized module that has to host in a safe way people in transit to Mars. So you need different expertise according to the project. So you need to understand the requirements and then to select the right people, the right knowledge, and apply that at different subsystem levels first. And then you need for sure a global vision, so an overall project coordinator that understand the complexity at system level.
mm.
But
Um,
again, you don't have one person doing the whole story. You need a large team, and especially not only in your own company, but in different companies and quite often universities. It's beautiful. You are lucky because you work with amazing people coming from all over the world.
so in your you said 40 years you've been working in the industry. From your view, how exciting it is was to see the change from 40 years ago to now. It feels like
Yes.
there was a period when it was kind of slow and kind of um, not as advancing and accelerating as it is now. So how do you see it? How do you feel
No,
about it?
slow. I think that also the time is a matter of perception of the different individuals. So for me, time is always flashing super fast, flashing super fast. But for sure, I have to recognize that there is an acceleration in the space sector occurring since few years. When I entered the company 40 years ago, maybe we had many years to develop a project. Now the space sector is really very much commercial oriented. So the competition is pushing the pace. So you need to respond to the market needs as quickly as possible. That's for sure. But I see really also an evolution people-wise. Not to mention the gender matter. Uh, uh, it's also important. When I entered this world, there were very few women, and now it's beautiful. I have many colleagues that are female. I really believe that it doesn't matter, the country you are from, the gender you are, who cares? What it really makes the difference is the background you have, again, a solid background, and the enthusiasm that you put in what you do. Um,
So what do you see the biggest challenges for young scientists and engineers to penetrate that market?
Uh, just believe. Just believe that you can, if you really want to do something, if you will really wish to do something, just do it. Nobody will prevent you. Nobody will stop you. The space sector is really offering to the new generation many opportunities. We there are so many things to do, so many contracts that we are always looking for new colleagues. So, young people that are listening to this interview, just apply. Just check the website. You will find a function that will trigger your interest for sure.
I want to be mindful of your time. So I have one final question. You mentioned the story about watching Buzz Aldrin as in black and white, and then you said
How
that
can you know that about me? I didn't tell you. Where did you find that information?
I when I want to talk to someone, I try to find as many things I can find because I am interested before I even talk to you. So I heard about the story. You mentioned it in a somewhere. There's many videos I watched.
Yes.
And then you became friends with him or acquainted with him. So I guess this is basically the message that you're trying to say is like if it happened to you, then it can happen to others, right?
Yeah. Going back to 69, I was a little girl. So now you know my age. Everybody knows my age. And I was watching the television, black and white, and I saw these two people jumping on the moon, walking, but they looked to me very happy. They were just jumping. And I turned to my parents and I told them, it must be a cool place. I want to be there. And then, the dream of a little girl became reality, not only because space it's really my daily love, really, is not an occupation, but because I had the opportunity to meet Buzz Aldrin, and to develop a long-lasting friendship with him. So I'm honored to be able to say that yes, I had the opportunity many times to discuss with Buzz about his experience. We developed together new architecture to not only to go back to the moon, but especially to go to Mars. You see, it's always possible to learn from these people. An amazing amount of things. So not only from their really experience, but from the fact that despite the fact that they can be over 80, they are more dreamer, or let me rephrase it, they dream much more than many of us.
They still have a lot of life to give.
Yes, that's the point. Yes.
Well, that's a great. Sorry, I interrupted.
No. Privilege. I was just saying privilege. So I send the kiss to Buzz.
I hope he listens to my little podcast, but there's nothing better to end on this interview and this note, inspirational note. So I'm very happy that I talked to you. Thank you for taking the time, and I hope we cross paths someday.
Whenever you like to talk again, Tara, you know my number. And let me just greet the people that happen to listen to us. It was a pleasure to share the little bit of my experience, and I'm sure that some of the people that are listening to us right now will become the new protagonist to carry on the space dream toward Mars. Sure about that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tara.